Life is busy and life is complicated. And in the middle of our hectic days, sometimes we just need a brief thought, or a quick reminder, or the proverbial shot in the arm to keep us on track. Sometimes what we need is just a bit of wisdom, or a fresh idea, or a touch of inspiration to keep us going. Sometimes we just need a little something in our day. This collection of Life Talks podcast shorts are written and produced to provide the listener a quick thought or an uplifting idea in a convenient 5 to 6 minute time frame. These are produced for the busy individual who needs a lift in their day, but who's pressed for time. It is our hope that these podcast shorts will make your day a bit brighter and a bit richer.
Hi, I'm Craig Lounsborough. We hear a lot of things, a whole lot of things. We're incessantly bombarded with sheets and shards and streams of information. It's about bits and bytes and boatloads of data that we ingest and digest without even realizing that we're doing that. Either consciously or unconsciously, we compile all of that sordid stuff into some sort of choppy mosaic about the life around us and the world within us. And as insidiously dangerous as it is in time, this rather indistinct and somewhat dubious mosaic becomes our reality. In essence, it becomes our existence. It seems that we tend to be busy about a whole lot of nothing. We can meticulously tally the tasks of the day, only to be inordinately perplexed that for some reason, the sum total doesn't come anywhere close to reflecting the sum total of everything that we expended in accomplishing those things. So consumed are we in the task of nothing that we don't have the time to think about something. Therefore, we have irreparably fallen in love with plug and play and prefab. We like things prepackaged, prepared, and predetermined. We're looking for answers that were already ingested, digested, and reflexively regurgitated for our reflexive consumption by whatever source we happen to have happened upon. In essence, we don't think. And in fact, there are few things as dangerous as that. We're going to ingest a whole lot of something. That's inevitable. And if that something shapes us with that much force, we might be wise to ask what that something is. We live in a world roiling with bias and flushed murky with politically correct agendas. We have splintering splinter groups, proffering philosophies of every shape and sort. We've got the thematic propagation of diversity that's more about a permission to be permissive. Too often it's about the spin to win. It's less about truth, and it's more about triumph. It's about the resolute and rather gritty proliferation of the agenda to the degree that truth becomes the agenda and the agenda becomes the truth. Therefore, truth becomes negotiable and pliable in a forced and placating servitude to an onslaught of dubious agendas. However, truth in the service of an agenda becomes an opinion. And too often opinion is bias off the leash and running wild. So we need to listen for a change. We need to question aggressively and responsibly. We need to ruthlessly investigate and corroborate. We need to quit being complacent consumers and become invested investigators. We need to use truth as a steeled template, not as a fluffy convenience. We need to bring the sturdy compass of ethics to point out the true north in every decision, whether that true north is to our liking or not. We don't need to be worldly wise, for that's an oxymoron of the most deceptive kind. Rather, we need to be wise in the ways of God and life. We need to be sufficiently stubborn to reject the pablum of the masses, yet pliable enough to hear the beating hearts underneath the pablum. We need to be bold and brazen in a manner stitched tight by wisdom and lent compelling by reason. We need to be beacons of light, knowing that the crowd is apt to label us as sorely antiquated and ridiculously ill-informed. We need to listen in the bravest form imaginable. It would behoove us to remember that to live passively is to live dangerously. To live inquisitively is to live wisely. To live boldly is to live robustly. And to live our lives based on timeless principles is to honor God rather than worship everything else that pretends to be God. May we choose to abandon the former and judiciously embrace all of the latter.
Thanks for being with us today. It's our hope that this podcast short gave you something not only to enrich your day, but touch your life. Here at Life Talk, we also produce a collection of regular-length podcasts that address timely, relevant, and deep-seated issues in our lives, our communities, and our world.